This is the last video in the series on the Irritable Bowel Syndrome, and we'll discuss a low Fodmap diet. Fodmap is the abbreviation for fermentable carbohydrates like oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols. So you get Fodmap, Fodmap. Fodmap intolerance is not an allergy, nor is it a hypersensitive immune reaction like gluten sensitivity. It is estimated that up to 3/4 of patients with irritable bowel syndrome are sensitive to Fodmap. Large Fodmap carbohydrates need enzymes in the small intestine to break them down into smaller units called simple sugars. Examples of these are glucose, fructose. Only simple sugars can be absorbed by the small intestine. Most people can produce small amounts of the enzymes which are needed to break down these large Fodmap carbohydrates into smaller units like the simple sugars. So most people can handle modest amounts of Fodmap foods, but some people can tolerate large amounts and some people cannot even handle a little bit. Without being broken down into smaller units, because the person doesn't have sufficient enzymes, these large Fodmap carbohydrates cannot be absorbed in the small intestine. So they travel to the large intestine, where bacteria rapidly ferment the undigested Fodmap carbohydrates, producing gas. This gas causes abdominal cramps, bloating, and flatulence. Also, this undigested Fodmap draws water from the colon cells, causing diarrhea. In fact, Fodmap foods are healthy because they function like prebiotics, which is good for the gut bacteria. So the main problem is that many people do not have sufficient enzymes in the small intestine to digest the large Fodmap carbohydrates. So as a result, the large Fodmap carbohydrates travel to the large intestine. These are the undigested Fodmap carbohydrates where they are broken down by the bacteria, producing gas. There are many different enzymes in the small intestine that break down the different Fodmap foods. What are the common foods that contain Fodmap? Wheat, especially in large quantities, as is found in bread, chapati, breakfast cereals, and biscuits. Garlic, which is one of the most concentrated sources of Fodmap. Onions are another concentrated source of Fodmap. Vegetables like cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and asparagus. Legumes, which includes all beans like long beans, French beans. Lentils, for example, chickpeas, horse gram, black-eyed beans. Fruits with high concentration of Fodmap include plum, pear, watermelon, apple, mangoes, peaches. In addition, some fruits have a high concentration of a sugar called fructose. This can cause diarrhea as fructose is more difficult to be absorbed by the small intestine compared to glucose. The undigested fructose then goes to the large intestine where the gut bacteria breaks it down, producing gas. Artificial sweeteners like sorbitol, mannitol, xylitol, which are used in sugar-free products for diabetics like soft drinks and biscuits. There are a lot of these products that are available today on supermarket shelves. Sweeteners also include high fructose corn syrup, which is found in many processed foods and is used as a sugar substitute as it is cheaper than natural sugar. Lactose. People who are lactose intolerant cannot break down lactose because they have insufficient enzyme called lactase. Lactose needs to be broken down into simple sugars before it is absorbed by the body. Lactose is found in many dairy products like milk, cheese, yogurt, and butter. Some people are born with lactose intolerance while others develop it later in life. Finally, there are beverages like chai tea and chamomile tea, which are high in Fodmap. So these are the list of some foods that contain Fodmap. This table shows the list of high Fodmap foods. So how does one find out which Fodmap food they should avoid? The first step is to avoid all Fodmap foods for a period of 1 to 2 months. Once the symptoms are better, try to introduce one specific Fodmap food one at a time. Start on one Fodmap food for 3 days or so and slowly add a Fodmap food every 3 days until you find out which Fodmap food you are intolerant to. If you're intolerant to the particular Fodmap food, it will cause symptoms of gas, bloatedness, some abdominal cramps, flatulence, and diarrhea. Remember that when you are on the Fodmap free diet, eat only foods that do not belong to the Fodmap category. So the objective of this Fodmap free diet and introduction of one Fodmap food at a time is to identify which Fodmap that one is intolerant to. So what are the foods that do not belong to the Fodmap category and are safe to take in patients with Fodmap malabsorption? These include grains like rice, oats, millet, buckwheat, maize, quinoa. Vegetables like carrot, capsicum, tomato, spinach, choy sum, eggplant, bean sprouts. Fruits like banana, papaya, pineapple, kiwi, strawberry. Sweeteners like glucose, sugar, and artificial sweeteners like saccharin, stevia, and aspartame. People with lactose intolerance can substitute high lactose containing products with lactose-free milk, soy milk, almond milk. Low lactose cheese includes cheddar cheese, parmesan cheese, and there are also lactase enzyme substitutes that are commercially available. High Fodmap beverages can be substituted with black and green tea and coffee. Other low Fodmap food items include tofu, eggs, and most nuts and seeds. This table shows foods that are low in Fodmap. These foods are suitable for those who have intolerance to high Fodmap foods.